Hello, everybody, and well, Fire Them Cannons is back after a 2 week break for mental health, just to kind of just chill because we knew it was going to be coming the back end of the season. And how do Arsenal then help introduce us to club football? We're go right back to where we were at the beginning of it. Um, Welcome back. We are now into the Fire Them Cannons post game show, and yes, Arsenal now, in two successive games, go crashing out of two successive English Cup competitions. It finishes at St. Mary's Stadium, Southampton 2, Arsenal 1. But make sure you are hitting the like button and you are subscribing. What is going on here with my style? Everything gone out of whack. And of course, make sure you are sharing the content as well. And yeah, big ups to Jake once again for being here. So we're gonna get through this game. Just give me 1 second. I have to fix the style here. I'm not quite sure what is going on. What is going on right now?
Yeah, it's been that kind of day, hadn't it? For Gunners all around, and
Yeah,
of course
the
we'll get
technical
into it. But
difficulties.
it's some
Yeah,
definite
all right.
technical difficulties, that's for sure.
Technical difficulties with the football team, and let's start. Look. I'm gonna start by saying this. For all my viewers here on Fire Them Cannons, this is going to be the most real coverage of the Arsenal to this game than you're going to see everywhere. Maybe on Jake's channel you get something similar, but this is going to be the most real that you're going to get.
Hey, man, this is on my channel right now, so yeah,
Correct. Oh, right.
Something
And I should just say,
something similar.
like and subscribe, to the Cup Chasers who we are collaborating with today. It's about a long time coming, you know. We've been having Jake here on this post game show every single week. So just like I've been doing with the Goonist Therapy and our Tuesday show, Jake gets the same. Gets the
Finally
same
figured
now
out how to do
for
the
weekend.
simulcast thing. Finally figured it out.
Yeah. So this will be the most. This will be the most real that you're gonna get. And by that I mean we're gonna criticize the team what went wrong today heavily, but we're also and maybe Jake has other ideas. But we're not going to take this game out of context for what is going to go on for the rest of the season. In my opinion, we're not going to brush Arsenal with a generalized pen, as if and rewrite the positions we're in and the remaining competitions that we're left in. Right? That is the difference. So we'll begin now by criticizing what needs to be criticized. And for me, I said it on the football terrace. I when I saw this lineup today, look, going into it, I think the lineup was a big thing. All of us and I've covered it on Dan's show, and actually haven't heard much Jake's opinion on this. I'm actually curious to kind of hear about it. And of course, it's been all the talk about all the Arsenal players that were pulling out of international duty. Who was available? Is it real? Is it fake? We had that on the last show. Some of the answers that we had for real and for fake definitely were wrong, because I didn't expect Noni Madueke to be even walking, let alone being able to play a football match today or be included in the team. I was not expecting Declan Rice to be left out completely of the team, because I thought Declan Rice was one of those players is like he's surely rested, surely he's okay. Doesn't come into the team whatsoever today. You know,
And if that was just for more rest, you're looking like an idiot now. Just saying.
Yeah. So that
better not have been for just more rest. They better have actually not been fit.
Yeah. See, that I feel like is, as much as it's easy to say, hey, start from the beginning, let's look at the team. That I feel like sets up the tone for the whole day, for the whole game. And a lot of us fans here, we sat here in our most recent post-game show after the Cup, and Jake and I have said we do not ever want to see Kepa Arrizabalaga between the sticks again. Arteta had to learn, and he didn't. It's like the thing that really annoyed me is that we had just lost a trophy. We were in the final of a competition. We went against the team that we're most likely going to, well, we'll have to see them now in the FA Cup. We'll have to see them one more time this season, I guess, now officially. but the team that was going up against us for the domestic trophies, at least this season in England, and we lost. And we had a lot of lessons to learn from that, none of which were applied today. Lesson number 1 we discussed last time: Kai Havertz in the 10. He can't. Again, now we're seeing it back-to-back games. Oh, this is not Man City, by the way. This is Southampton. We're seeing again in back-to-back games that Kai Havertz, in the midfielder, lacks the ability to control a football game. Now, we had it from the other side with Odegaard, and he did come in. I felt Odegaard wasn't that poor today. Now, there are bits to Odegaard's game that we all knew that have always been there, and it's more about kind of just being front-footed and attacking. But from the control perspective, it was all there to see. You could see on the left-hand side, we had Kai Havertz and you had Miles Lewis-Skelly, who, by the way, Cal had this thing, like he's still a teenager. I don't want to dig him out. But I just have to speak on Miles Lewis-Skelly, right? And that's why I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna pick out this lineup bit by bit before we actually go into the actual performance, so that you guys actually understand why what has happened today has happened, instead of saying a generalized statement like, hey, Arsenal, they don't have the mentality, they're bottling the whole thing. Because you need to look at every game in isolation. Miles Lewis-Skelly last season was thrown into the fire. He was never expected to play last year. In fact, you remember famously when we went to the Etihad away and we drew, he got into the face of Erling Haaland, and Erling Haaland is sort of like, who the hell are you? That was sort of the perspective of Miles Lewis-Skelly from everybody. No one knew who he was except for Arsenal fans. And even then, we didn't really get to see what he's capable of doing. And he surprised us. We're left with no other options. Calafiori wasn't able to play on that side because he was injured for a lot of the season. That's who we brought into play there. You know, we also had Kieran Tierney, blast from the past, who, you know, wasn't expected to be in the team at all. He was on loan at Sociedad the year prior. And Miles Lewis-Skelly was kind of who we were left to play there. And to be fair, Miles Lewis-Skelly really stepped up. He stepped up massively. But this was always too early in his development to be expected to be Arsenal's left back week in and week out. The other part to Miles Lewis-Skelly, which aggravates me when I see him being linked to places like Manchester United, is he's not a left back. So everybody's complaining about his time at left back when the plan is for him to be a midfielder. He is meant to, and you know what, today, this is what actually annoys me. If Miles Lewis-Skelly starts today and he starts in central midfield instead of Kai Havertz, I actually think we have more control in the midfield today. That's the funny part about it. But at the left back position, he's gotten roasted. Probably. I said this I said this today. Doesn't matter who is it from. Mansfield Town, is it from Portsmouth or from Wigan? Whoever's wingers has been there, Miles Lewis-Skelly has gotten roasted by that winger. Not Mansfield. He didn't play, to be fair. He didn't play, right? In the Champions League, whenever he's played, whatever winger he's gone against this year, he's been roasted by them. I don't think he's played. Maybe he's played started one time in the Premier League this season, but I imagine he was roasted then too. He's not been good all year. So when people go, why isn't Skelly starting? Or why are we not playing Skelly? We're good. Let him go to Man United. Why are we letting him go? Why he should be? Everybody in this team needs to earn the right to play. It's not just given to you. I don't care if you're the prodigal son. It's not given to you. You need to earn it. And let's also, by the way, the pen that's been written on Miles Lewis-Skelly that drives me nuts when we rewrite last season is the amount of times he got sent off in games. The amount of times he did make mistakes in games. He costed us. We all remember Real Madrid. We all remember him playing, in the Champions League. We remember him in certain Premier League games. We don't also remember that he got sent off against Wolves. There are a few other ones he was actually also sent off in. He's far from the final product. And today, Gabriel gets absolutely no support. And on the other side, Mascara, by the way, I don't know if anybody noticed, came in, he played really, really well for Arsenal. But in recent performances coming in, he's been shaky.
It was okay. He wasn't the worst.
I thought he was shaky today.
He wasn't the worst out there today.
He wasn't, but he's still shaky.
For damn sure.
No. He's not the worst, but he's still shaky.
I'll give you shaky.
Yeah. And let's get to Ben White. I already issued an apology to you and Timber the other day. The other 2 weeks ago now. It's not the other day. And hey, we learned it again. Now look, you're in Timber's fitness. If he's just trying to, if Arteta's saying, hey, I need one more game of rest before I start to lean on him every single game, week in and week out. I mean, we only have 12 games now rather than 14. Thank you. Thanks to today. But in those last 12 games, he needs to start every single one of them.
Everyone.
I could give a fuck about my left back's ability. And on this is, by the way, this is hindsight, but sometimes hindsight is good because you can learn from it. I could give a fuck about my right back's ability to attack. As long as he gives me control, as long as I'm not getting burnt by wingers from the Championship.
What happened to the priority of defenders being defending?
And that's the next part, the midfield, right? Because today, this is where I'm going to stay very consistent, Jake, right? On days where Arsenal have been frustrating going forward, but we've won because we've been solid at the back, I've always said, hey, it was a great performance. Why have I said it's a great performance? Because for me, defending is priority numero uno. If you keep a clean sheet in a game, there are only now two possible results that you can have in the game: draw or win. Right? Arsenal scored a goal today. We conceded two absolutely
shocking,
awfully defended goals today.
Shocking. Train wreck. Plane crash of a goal.
And that's why everyone, and I'm so happy that I regardless of what happens on the pitch, I never get roped into other people's analysis, that have always been consistent. Because, guys, everyone all complaining about the attack. And the reason why I've been so confident about us winning trophies is the defense. Today, though, just like our previous FA Cup game, the defense was absolutely shithouse. And this is why. The midfield. Again, all of the Norgard fangirls out there who, when Zubamendi was going through a little bit of a rough patch, oh, why is Zubamendi still starting? We got to get Norgard in there. Why doesn't Arteta play Norgard more?
Let me ask you a question. Is Norgard incapable of playing in the double pivot like we normally do?
Yeah, he is.
Then what the hell? I like Norgard, but bro, you can't play our system. What are you doing here? So every time he's in the game, we switch to a lone six. And clearly, Southampton's whole strategy was to skip the midfield. And when you do that, you make that lone six run back and forth. But when we're in a double pivot, but see on the other side of it, when we're in a double pivot, he has the cover. Rice and Zubamendi cover each other. So we've never seen it. We've literally never seen Norgard straight swap Zubi and play alongside Declan Rice. Why?
But here's the pickle that he put in, right, with the Norgard starting, right?
So why couldn't he play Norgard Zubi? That's my question.
Right. So there you're going to get into the point, right? And
it's because Norgard can't play a double pivot, apparently.
Whether we believe or not, and we'll find out on Sporting Lisbon who was injured, who wasn't during the international break. The point is that these players have been off for 2 weeks. What the difference does today make? Where today is a game where you set the tempo for the last part of the season. You've just lost a cup final, and you say, no, we're going back to Wembley. We're gonna go at this one again. We're not.
And
We're
it's
not.
not like-
The worst thing you can do is lose that cup final, and then make me look like a fool because this is my last few thumbnails. Oh, Arsenal can also win the quad. Can Arsenal win the treble? Now, look, I'm not even going to ask about the double. I'm actually going to shut my mouth and not even ask about it. Because now, what Arsenal need to do is do what I've been telling you guys, and we'll get into Victor Gyökeres, who I'm also right about because you guys all wanted to fucking sell him. I've been hearing all last 2 weeks while he's banging goals for Sweden. Are Arsenal going to sell Gyökeres so they can buy Alvarez?
No, that's a dumb
Get
question.
the fuck out of here.
That's a stupid question.
But I've been seeing it on shows everywhere.
Because people are stupid. That's crazy. That's a crazy one, man. There's
He
no
has
way.
got 5 goals in his last 3 matches. And the next game, Sporting Lisbon away. What do you think is happening? I swear, Jake, the closer we get to that next game, and I'm so glad that that's next game. I've been telling everybody. I've been telling
I'm not
you.
even
I've
thinking
been
about
telling.
it, man. I haven't even thought
I
about
know,
it. Like,
but that is the silver lining.
why do we
today.
need to think about what the rest of the season is to galvanize us for an FA Cup quarterfinal?
Right.
This ain't the third round. This ain't. It's not December. It's not January. This ain't the third round. This is a chance to go back to Wembley. This is a chance to redeem ourselves for last time.
Like I get
But no.
rotating, Jake, but
we
this
didn't
is
take it
so
seriously.
heavily rotated. It's disrespectful.
Mikel Arteta didn't take it seriously, and that is devastating to me.
All right, let's make a list of the players that we started. This is really good exercise because Giuseppe brought it up on the terrace, and I want to cover this because this is important to give you the context of today and why I don't think it has anything to do with the Premier League and Champions League. Players who played today who will not be at Arsenal next year. Let's go. Number 1, Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus, please God.
He will not be at Arsenal next year. Thanks, Siri. Siri doesn't even understand. Why does Jesus start? You hear that? You hear him? Gabriel Jesus. So that's the player who, by the way, is on bigger wages than Gyökeres, who is making way for Julian Alvarez if that transfer is to happen. Not your fucking starter who's now on 17 goals. He's gonna go over 20 for the first time of any Arsenal forward since Aubameyang. Sorry, right? Gabriel Jesus played today. Now the striker who comes on for him scores.
He played against us. He played for the other team today.
Another player who will not be at Arsenal Football Club next year, Gabriel Martinelli.
Nope. Bye.
Another player that won't be at
Thanks for
Arsenal
the
Football
service.
Club next year. And I hate to say it because I loved him. I love the guy, Ben White.
I'm over it, man. I was a Ben White fan, but ever since the last injury, he just hasn't. He legit has not come back. And I will defend him to the T, to a hilt for the booze he's getting for the England stuff. That's ridiculous. But he was also not very good in either of those games for England.
He scored, but then he got him to give up the penalty as well.
But then he comes back. Yeah, Ben White's not supposed to score. That's not your job, bro.
Right, I know.
Then he comes back with a chance to continue maybe with some minutes, with some form, and maybe keep some momentum going for yourself, and is the worst player on the pitch. Like Jesus and Ben White, neck and neck for the worst performances of the season.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why the coaching staff at Arsenal can't see what I've been calling out for 2 years. Yeah, he's great on the overlap. You love that. You love to see that. But why, why does every single winger he plays against get 3 to 4 yards of space in front of him in the 1v1 duel? I could beat Ben White in the 1v1 duel because he gives you too much space. And the reason I'm not exaggerating about me, because he doesn't care who he's against. He didn't give any he doesn't give any respect. And when I say respect, I'm talking about Mark Cucurella respect. If Cucurella respects you as a winger, he's not going to give you any space anytime. You're never turning. You're never getting to go at him. He's going to be on you like White on Rice. Ben White doesn't do that. Ben White does not do that, okay? And if he's going to defend you one-on-one, he's going to let you turn. He's going to let you come at him. He's going to give you 2 to 3 yards of space in the one-on-one. Watch it. Watch it. Hopefully he doesn't put the shirt on again. Honestly, that's where I'm at with it. Like,
Jake,
thanks for all the service, and I got nothing against the guy, and I think it's lame what's happened with England or whatever, but he was horrendous, and I think it's time for him to go.
Big ups to JT in the house.
What up, JT?
How's it going? You know what? I gotta say, JT has been one of those consistent fans. I've been reading. He comments in my thing. He comments on the therapy. And one thing I'll tell you, at certain points, I thought that JT was negative, but I think as the season has unfolded, you've seen that JT is actually very balanced. Nice. A lot of the issues that he's pointed out throughout the year are starting to rear their ugly head now. Yeah. At this point of the season, but he's also not been overly negative too much to the other way, where it's just bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to like pile on the players because on my thumbnail for the thumbnail for my channel for this show, it's Arteta right in the middle. For me, this is on Arteta. Like I don't want to pile on to the players too much.
We're in an away game. But we're in an away game.
What up, Arun? Thanks for being here, bro.
We're in an away game. And in every other away game this season, outside of Mansfield Town or Portsmouth, maybe, Arsenal have gone with a double pivot.
Yeah.
We needed one game shocking to go to Wembley. We go to, I know, okay, I don't want to be giving Southampton too much credit to say, hey, we go away to Liverpool, we go away to Man City, and we would no way we would play Norgard in a single, or even play Rice or Zumendi as a standalone DM. They would never. The craziest part about it is in a knockout game. This is why my mentality is with knockout games. Why Italy, even though they're not making the World Cup, are so good at knockout football when they actually make it, is that it's that concession part. Because you concede goals, you're out. You need the stability. This is where it's backwards. Where in Premier League games, sometimes you're playing opponents, especially at the Emirates, and we've come by and we've gone with a double pivot, and you can have a number other 10, and when you want to be able to express yourself on our pitch, he doesn't do it. But then we're going to go away where you probably need that extra protection when momentum is, the energy is going to be with them naturally. We leave and expose our center backs. Like Martin Tyler, and he's the legend Martin Tyler. He did the coverage of today's game. And he's watched a lot of football over his life. Goes, wow, Gabriel is being left on an island because there are no fullbacks to be seen. They've Ben White and Miles Lewis-Skelly today, absolutely, along with Norgard. I don't want to hear any. Norgard was bad. I heard some people saying that I thought Norgard was okay. Norgard was bad. He looked so shaky. He gave the ball away so many times. And especially his off the ball ability is just not, it's never been there for me by himself. I go back to that Portsmouth game. By the way, remember Portsmouth opened the goal scoring against us when we went away from home in the opening minutes of the game. And I go back to even then, me and Cal sat here, we broke it down and what went wrong for that. Like, no. And that's the next guy who's not going to be here next year. Christian Norgard. He's always been a stopgap signing. He's always been a bridge player for what is probably going to be a younger backup number 10 next year.
It just blows my mind. Why did we even buy him? If he
have
changes
the extra experience?
If we put him in our system, though, But if we put him in the team, he doesn't play our system and he disrupts the whole system. Why even buy him?
This, if you want to look again, it's two different things. It's another whole other topic. Look at the other players Arsenal bought this summer. It's so that you make a small investment on, because we lost Jorginho for free, right? So we're not going to replace Jorginho with a 60 million pound midfielder, right? We're going to replace Thomas Partey, we also lost for free, with a 60 million pound midfielder. But that's because that's the priority. That's your starter. You need to have that quality of a starter. Norgard, he's supposed to do what Jorginho did, which is come in, give you some extra experience, close out games. That's always what he's meant to be. And sometimes, yeah, we need to rotate, and we've leaned on him a little bit more than we've needed to because Mikel Merino got injured, right? By the way,
the whole point is, at the end of the day, is to Arun's point here when he says away game, the team is in the championship and they're not even in the playoff spots. Arun, that's their 15th game unbeaten. That's their 15 games unbeaten they are on now. And we should have taken them seriously. That's the point. If we take them seriously, we play a double pivot. I don't care what you say. I guarantee you Norgard is experienced enough to be able to play the double pivot next to Zubimendi. It was all about, today's game was all about the fact that Arteta did not take it seriously enough, did not respect Southampton enough to only rotate a little bit. He rotated a lot of it. And really, he didn't, a couple of changes and would have made the game so much different. So much different. He didn't actually have to change that much, but he just had no respect whatsoever for Southampton.
See, this is the thing for me.
Disappointing.
This is the thing for me, right? And I'm gonna get to some of you guys' comments. I'm in here as Jake's already been kind of responding to them anyway. But the thing for me that is, you hit the nail on the head. We are in April now. I don't care who it is, Southampton. You need one win to get yourself into the semi-final of the FA Cup. It's not about who you are playing. It is about the prize that is on the other end. You do not take any chances, and you take it seriously. Teams win trophies, win them because they took it seriously. Why are we 9 points clear in the Premier League? Because we've taken that seriously. In the Champions League, why are we in the quarterfinals? We took that seriously, even in games, by the way, which it was a dead rubber.
Yeah. See, that's what gets me. That's what blows my mind. In a game that doesn't matter, we took it more seriously than we took today.
Right.
We played a stronger lineup versus Kairat in a game that did not matter statistically than we did in a quarterfinal of a trophy. A quarterfinal of a trophy. A trophy, dude. You haven't won a trophy in 6 years, bro. What are you doing, Arteta? What are you doing? What are you doing?
So he's treating this round of the FA Cup like he did in the previous rounds, and that's where he's mistaken. This is where I thought when I saw look, I was with all these reports, I don't know if what's real, what's not. It's a little bit kind of caught in between, like who's actually injured, who's not. But if people were right and we were faking it, then for me, it's like, okay, good. Because now you got a 2-week rest. You got to do whatever, chill, relax. I got a 2-week rest, right? This channel, I only had, since our last post-game show, I just had the one show with Dan that was on Tuesday, right? The rest of the time, I was like, oh, I don't need to do Anton's Tears because the Premier League doesn't come back until April the 12th. So, I'll do that in the coming week. So my girlfriend's going to church. It's Easter here, by the way. Just for context. Yeah. So just like I had a 2-week break, just like Jake had a 2-week break, although Jake was bringing on some very brilliant reels about different fans on the international breaks, which you guys could go check out his social media content because it's absolutely fucking brilliant. But the players then had that too. That's why you have it. Because now Southampton, I don't give a fuck if it's Southampton. It's the FA Cup quarterfinals. I remember when we played, this is going back, adjoining FA Cup quarterfinals when we were winning it. Everton, but remember Arteta played against Everton in that game, quarterfinal game at home. We won that game, and it was I think, what was it, like a 3-0 win or something?
Mhm.
And we were like, yes, we are fucking going to the semifinal. We're going to Wembley. We were elated. And I was like, and that was my dreaming about us finally winning a trophy, which we did. The next season, we go away to Man United. Remember, Danny Welbeck goes to score the winner away at Old Trafford? Were we playing weak
Mhm.
lineups then? By the way, another quarterfinal, we actually played away at Southampton. This was the year we beat Chelsea. Theo Walcott scored a double, and a hat trick, and Danny Welbeck scored a double in the quarterfinal at St. Mary's. We won 5-0 that day. Those are three instances where we won this competition. Now, the one in 2020 was in COVID, whatever, different story. And but
Yeah, that season just doesn't count as much for me. Whole nother topic. Whole
this
nother
is an
thing.
FA Cup quarterfinal. I don't give like this is what it's
I
annoying
don't
me.
get
Like,
it.
Benny, you have
I'm
2 weeks
baffled,
of everybody
honestly.
resting. That's when you rest.
I don't understand it. I
We
really, I was
lost a cup
shocked.
final. That's
I was
why I'm
shocked that
upset about
Rice and
this.
Saka weren't here. I was shocked that Rice and
Can I
Saka
tell
weren't
you,
in the
Jake?
team.
Answer
Shocked.
me this, because I think I know your answer. Had we won the Carabao Cup, would you have been more understandable about today?
No, no.
Okay,
Maybe a
different.
tiny little bit. Maybe a tiny little bit. But and maybe it wouldn't be as shocking. But no, the FA Cup is way bigger than the Carabao Cup. And to have won it, to get that feeling and then shit the bed like this would probably be even worse. Like, because I would have been expecting even more. But I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that, like you said, that they didn't take it that he didn't take it seriously at all.
Yeah.
I'm just absolutely shocked.
And the worst part about it, and this is the only time I'm going to mention them really in the whole stream. The worst part about it is that we gave Manchester City life. Single us. And I know they went ahead, they won both those games, but the way we approached that cup final, when they were licking their wounds, they just got knocked out of the Champions League. They've drawn two back, like they had went 4 games without without victory, right? And their season was, we could have ended it right then and there, right? We gave them life because then they come out today against Liverpool. They absolutely destroy that, and
They were phenomenal.
but then we leave the competition ourselves, which basically opens the door, basically for them to win a second cup, both domestic doubles, and that's hopefully as where it ends, right?
Dude, if they end up winning 2 trophies,
They look. I'm just gonna say
I'm
how it is. They're winning the FA Cup. When you beat Liverpool like that in a quarterfinal. By the way, the round before that, they were handed a very tough away draw at Newcastle. That's what winners of the cup eventually
they
do.
beat Salford City the week before by 10 goals. So
That's what winners eventually do. You know what I mean? Um, so
Chelsea, by the way, the team that we're all laughing at, put
7-0.
Port Vale to the sword. They put a lesser team to the sword. What are we doing?
Look, I'm not complaining about that because their off the field stuff has been sinking them, and I need them in a good headspace to do something against Manchester City next weekend.
Don't be counting on that, bro.
Look, I'm not counting on them, but
I know
for
you
me-
want it. I know there's going to be a hate along and a pray along on my
no,
channel.
I'm not
but
praying because I
I'm gonna do
know
the pray
that
along.
I know I've said it to everybody already, guys. I still believe this is why I'm not going to allow the narrative of, oh no, now we're bottling the league. Oh, City's winning a domestic treble. We're 9 points clear. I told you on March the 13th that Arsenal had won the Premier League that day. I'm not changing my assessment. We haven't changed it Premier League points. Like I'm not changing. That's the only thing for me that I'm leaning on right now, and that's what I'm saying. The Champions League game, Sporting. I need a win in that game. Bin the fucking, hey, let's draw and take care of business at home. Win. And
Yeah.
Victor Gyökeres, that's why I keep going back to that thing, because it's perfect. But let's get there and let's take them seriously. I want Arteta to play his hand and fuck all the rivals who are triggered about the players who left the international break. Fuck it. Play those players.
Yeah, JT saying here that Port Vale's a League Two side and Chelsea played their strongest 11. Exactly. Exactly my point.
Let's get into
why didn't we play our strongest 11? That's my
Let's get into some of the comments here. Arun Chopra, that's one of your boys, yeah?
Yep.
Arsenal's making a mockery of their fans with these kind of performances. Yeah, they're making a mockery of me, who I've sat there and defended them even today.
Absolutely agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the story of my life. 2 positive for the negative fans and 2 negative for the positive fans. Yeah.
Hey,
go. Look, dude, try doing it in front of the camera, because I've been looked in the comment section of the Football Terrace when I've been negative about certain performances, be like, this guy is so negative. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Don't be such an idiot. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, I'm the most positive fan there is. But then when I come out and, say, hey, we're winning this, winning that, this guy's so deluded. Oh, the league is over.
Toxic positive.
Yeah, toxic positive. Dan, oh my God, negative Dan is, I've never spoken to him yet, but he's going to have a field day with me. That City defeat and this is so shocking. Yeah.
Shocking day.
It is. Sure. And again, this is how you know I'm not deluded, because I'm pissed off about both of those things. And I have neither occasion said we have bigger fish to fry. No, I wanted the quad. I wanted the treble.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
They're all part of it. And now we're back to what I originally predicted at the start of the season. And now is where I'm really... Boys, this is where it's really important. The Champions League. Do not throw away the Champions League.
I mean, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing that I just don't feel like they quite get. Winners win. Period. Don't give a F who we're playing today. Don't care what competition it is today. I don't care who's on the team sheet. Dude, win the game, man. Like, you can't approach this game with the mentality that, oh, they're not the best team. We're not playing in the Champions League today. This isn't the cream of the crop opponent today, so we can kind of chill. We can kind of not be in the right headspace. And then 3 days later, expect to go to Portugal and just turn that on.
And if they do, I'll be thoroughly impressed.
I mean, yeah, I get it. And the personnel is way different. But Odegaard's going to start on Tuesday.
He's going to have to.
Exactly. So how different really is the guy who should have been leading the line, the guy who should have taken control of the game and said, you know what, at some point, you just have to be like, look, we need to figure this out. And sometimes we need to maybe go a little bit outside the tactics. Okay. Yeah. Kai, maybe you should come back and try to pass with us instead of staying Jake, way up there.
This is why
maybe you should try to get close to Jesus. Like, I just it's just, it's frustrating, man. It's just so frustrating. Side,
and by the way, I'm not done with the list of players I don't think will be at Arsenal Football Club next year.
Right.
But on the positive side here, as I keep saying, Jake, Victor Gyökeres keeps scoring. That is what's important to me. He's, despite what's going on around him, he's in a good headspace. He still came on today in a shit performance from everybody else and bags a goal. He's still in fucking cloud 9 after what's going on with Sweden. And that's why I was celebrating that. I'm not even fucking Swedish, but I see how that benefits my club.
Right? I just don't understand why we don't approach it in the opposite way. Why don't we start with the strongest team we can, score 3 goals, and sub everybody? We have 5 subs.
Oh, Jake.
We have 5 subs. Why not start as strong as we can, score 4 goals, and then quit? Instead of we haven't been effective today. Now we're down a goal. Let's stop. Oh, we got the goal back. We're gonna scumbag this win because we deserve to win because we showed up today. That as soon as we scored the equalizer, we went right back to what we were doing before.
Firstly, the moment the game kicked off, and Southampton all of a sudden were counter. I can see the way Southampton saw this, by the way, and this is Arun Chopra. I waited to say this the way I can speak to you about this point and elaborate on it. The minute the game kicked off today, you can see that Southampton were rubbing their hands together because of the way Arsenal set up. They looked at the fullbacks and how we were set up. They looked at how we were set up in the midfield. And every time they got the ball, they tried to counterattack, even when it wasn't on. They took it, bang, there was intent. And that's why I'm talking about away games. This is where, see, this comment is the trap that Arteta says. This team is in the championships and not even 7th place.
Exactly. This was the mentality that Arteta had.
This is the FA Cup. And then, by the way, I know people say this a lot, but we're playing under the lights at their stadium. That's what I mean by away game. Forget about what league you're in and what position. This is the only, let's be honest. You're right. They are 7th in the championship. And yeah, maybe they have a chance to come back up in the Premier League. They're 6, actually. But they have a chance to come up in the Premier League, right? Yeah. But this is their biggest chance to win a trophy. For any of these teams, they're the only team that's non-Premier League that is left out in the competition. That way, that's our fault. But this is the FA Cup. Everyone rises. They don't care if it's a giant. It's about giant killings. What have we watched for centuries in this competition? This stuff happens all the time. And that is why I was upset and why I felt that Arteta disrespected this competition. He acts as if he doesn't know that. He acts as if he hasn't played in games like this. They talk about the magic of the FA Cup, and everybody laughs. Oh, it's cute. All these people, neutral people, want to see a great cup tie. You're always going to get that. Especially when you go away from home. If this was at the Emirates, I don't think this is the same game, right? But when you go away from home, you realize that they have the energy of the crowd behind them. It's a night game. Everything is ramped up. Everything is ramped up. There is so much to criticize, but the negative fans got what they wanted. Rock and roll football was attempted, and we scored less and then being pragmatic. Maybe there's a reason why we play risk averse. Comment of the day from JT. That is the exact thing I've been trying to say the whole fucking year when people have been complaining about the other side. Which is why I have never, ever, ever the whole season lost my mind about games that we won or we didn't score 4 or 5. We Hamza was brought up today. Oh, Saka scores in the first minute. We won 1-0. Hey, what did I say that day? This feels like we're on our way to winning the Premier League title. Despite that, because the how many goals did we concede that day? None. 0. All you need is a moment or two, as long as you keep the door shut. If we keep the door shut today, Victor Gyökeres scores. It's 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's the way I view it. We have 90 minutes to score 1 goal. And when we fail to do so, then I come out and I criticize. But I never once, with the exception of Wolves or at home, criticized us in that manner when we kept a clean sheet. I dare you, I double dare you, outside of Forest away, and even that one, I was like, look, I'm not as concerned as Cal was in that day because we didn't concede a goal. Liverpool at home also finished 0-0. I wasn't throwing my toys out the pram as much as other people that day because we didn't concede a goal. You were, but I'm talking about me.
I was pissed that day.
Yeah. But we didn't.
I was very upset that day.
When we lose control in games, which is now back-to-back games where there is no control in a game. Although today there were elements a lot more than in the Man City game, and their goals, let's be honest, did come. Look, they had times where they were fucking reminding me when I was playing in high school, and they were popping shots or hitting the crossbar.
Were pathetic though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Look, and again, you never see that version of Liverpool when they play us. Like, if they would have stayed in this cup competition and we would have played them later down the track, you would not have seen that Liverpool. I promise you. Wow. Norgard was left on an island and barely has game time. Hard to pin much blame on him. JT?
The blame's at Arteta's door, not
That's not
Norgard's.
on Norgard. You have to understand what you have on him. all you're doing is exposing Norgard. If it was Declan Rice, you know that
If
he is capable
it
of
wouldn't have been the
covering
same,
that.
if Declan Rice played in there today in that same position, the game would not have been the same.
Yeah. I mean, he basically was forced into heavy rotation. All those players were assessed in being in the red zone. They were assessed in being in the red zone 2 weeks ago, and they've had a 2-week break.
They've had a 2-week rest. Yeah, I don't understand that.
This is the originality of being in this red zone thing came from when these players got to their national teams. They do the medical assessments early, and they're like, "Yeah, no, you need to go home. You need to rest."
But then they did that.
That's the whole point. Like, it doesn't carry on. I'm sorry. Like, if they can't do it on me, I'll tell you this much. I know I can't compare being a YouTuber to being a football player, but that 2-week rest, I'm ready to fucking pump out. You're going to see the content coming out of your ears on this channel now until the end of the season, because I rested for 2 weeks because trust me, it's not fucking easy. The mental hardship. And of course, Arsenal did us no favors today doing this. My old co-host not here anymore because it's not easy. It's not easy. But that's why you give yourself a bit of a break. But the break has happened. Now you have to go in. We don't want to continue giving them a break. I'm sorry. And if now he's elongated it to Sporting midweek, I better see some fucking results. I'm going to be plain and brutally honest with you. Honestly, we can thank the FA that the FA Cup was this week and not the Premier League. I see the perspective you're coming at, but I did say it on Goodness Therapy, so I know exactly that perspective, and it's easy for me to say it in the other way that we went out. I did say, hey, it was good to have these games to kind of warm up to that Premier League, right?
I thought
and
it
that's
was
kind
weird.
of the silver lining, but it is kind of weird, isn't it?
It had a weird feel to it.
Like, on another world, though, Arsenal do go full strength. You see fully that these players are available.
And
They go out, they beat Bournemouth, and we're feeling good. You know, hey, we're getting closer. We're chalking off one more game. We got 6 games to go left in the Premier League. We're one game closer. It would have been a nice feel. That's what Negative Dan was saying, and I'll get to give him his props for that. He was probably right. But I think there are either ways of thinking it'd be right. The only thing I guess I'm looking at is this is results-based analysis and the fact that we went out. Like, had we won, I would have probably been like, yeah, it's good to warm us up with this. Then we're going to get us, the Champions League, and now we're ready to crack on in the Premier League. Again, it is what it is. The fixtures just come in the order they come, and you have to kind of just deal with it. I mean, do we just assume the medical assessment was fake and he wrote day complete? No, the medical assessment. As I said, that's why I came on to some of these other programs on Tuesday. I broke up my 2-week break to discuss it because it was like coming through my timeline. All these, this guy's out, this guy's out, this guy's out, this guy's out. And we had to kind of talk about it. I didn't believe the assessments were fake. The assessments were just taken out of context.
Yeah.
They weren't ready to play a meaningless friendly. We lost Gabriel a meaningless friendly. And it caught, like, honestly, if we didn't, the Premier League could have been wrapped up by now. See, honestly. Like, because we were on a clean sheet record that was fucking legendary at the time.
Yeah,
right?
we were on the verge of records.
And we haven't actually gained that sort of stability again.
No, we have
since
not.
then. That level, never, not. But now we need it.
When was the last back-to-back clean sheet? When was the last 2 games we went where we didn't concede?
See,
I don't even remember.
Here's the problem, Jake, right? And JT brings it up earlier. Fans, instead of learning the lesson, just want to complain. So we're going to complain that we lost without admitting the fact, hey, maybe Arteta was right going defense first. Going with control first.
You know me, I've never had an issue with the way we've played. We've still scored more goals than anyone but City.
Look, the attack is something that's going to have to be addressed. Now, I was watching Mo and Hassam talk about it, and they're talking about a front three which didn't include Gyökeres or Saka in it, and I'm like, okay, that's too much. I just needed someone on the left-hand side that can make a difference for me. And we probably already have him. He's now out injured while our number 10 comes back. I don't think a massive thing needs to be put together. To be honest, he's got all the pieces. He just needs to play them on the right positions and have them all available at the same time. Like, I got to be honest, he gave Trossard too long of a leash.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Arteta is he allows players to drop off of form first before he makes the switch, where he just needs to hey, I could put Eze here on the left while Odegaard is still fit, and let's start a work, because that lineup has still never happened this season. Now, Eze is injured. I get it. And that was nice to see him, by the way, with the team today and still going through warm-ups. There are a lot of, we're talking about this injury thing. I feel like we don't know shit. Fuck it. Don't read reports. Because Eze is, I literally seeing there, Hand of Arsenal is telling me, Eze is with the traveling squad of Southampton. I'm like, but he's out for a month.
But he
didn't play. Yeah. Then I'm like, why? Saka still wasn't with the traveling squad of Southampton. Like, he didn't play either. But the thing is that, the attack for me has always been an Arteta thing. It's like, us fans can see it. Me and Jake have been screaming out for it in every single one of these shows. Like, hey, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres, Odegaard, is it so fucking hard?
Not really. It shouldn't be.
Just do that. Like, you can't say it doesn't work without trying it. It's like my sister, right? She says she hates ketchup. She hates tomato sauce, whatever, right? She doesn't like tomatoes. And I ask her, hey, sis, have you ever had a tomato? No. So how do you know you don't like it? The same thing I asked for Arteta with this attacking lineup.
It's because Eze didn't mark up Matty Cash.
But that's what really annoys me about that, by the way? Max Dowman, and we love Max Dowman. He was, by the way, probably the best player for Arsenal again in the game he's played, right? You know what he lacks? No one's going to talk about it because his name is not Bukayo Saka and his name isn't Eberechi Eze. His name isn't Gabriel Martinelli. Ben White, had a bad game, but he didn't get any support from Max Dowman today. Just as much of it. Right?
Max Dowman's a kid, though, man. And
I'm not throwing Max Dowman under the
No, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying it the other way around. Everybody else should be treated like this. Right? But it's that type of stuff, by the way. Oh, Saka's not having a good season. You know how many times some of those set pieces that we score from, it's because of Bukayo Saka? How many times he's winning those corners? And it's the stability that he gives us from the right-hand side. We are never exposed and weak from the right-hand side. What we're complaining about with Saka and Timber is the reverse, right? But on the other side, which is what is more important to me, and what is, close your ears, more important to Arteta, is that they give us a stable base, a foundation from the other side. Saka has never, in all the years that I've watched him, in one time, I've been like, oh, Saka, we conceded a goal and that was Saka's fault. And he's an attacker. See, you're not understanding. You never played football if you think that way. Because as a winger, you have to be able to go up and down. You have to support your fullback. It's all part of the game, especially if you're good at it. Now, some are platformed, and not everybody has that ability of Bukayo Saka, right? Look, there's a reason why Arsenal didn't buy Rodrigo in the end, I believe. I mean, there's many other ones, but I don't know if he necessarily would fit. You need a platform, Rodrigo. Is he willing to go and do the groundwork? One thing I think a reason why Martinelli plays as much as he does is because he also is able to do the groundwork.
Because he runs back.
Yeah. But yeah, look, there's so much. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the bottle the league thing, we need to put a bottle on that. Stop it. I'm telling you right now, stop it.
We need to smash Sporting first.
No, but the thing is like using this and that last game as a reason. I can't. You know what? To be honest, I saw City do well today, and I didn't bat my eyelid because I'm like, whatever. Like, this doesn't affect the league. They could like, they could still win all 8 games and not win the league. Now, if they don't, they're definitely not winning it. Which is why I keep saying like, the Man City. Let's go back into the Premier League for a second. What are their last 2 Premier League results?
Draws to relegation teams.
Right. Thank you. So, now if that's were to happen in the league and we lose to Bournemouth, then we're having that conversation for real. But we're not at there right now. Can we check again the FA Cup run of Arsenal this season?
We'd rather not, Arun.
I mean, look, we got to the quarterfinal. I'll do it for you quickly. Portsmouth away, we won 4-1. I believe was the final scoreline. We conceded at the start, then we ran away. I believe there was a Martinelli hat trick in there, right?
Something, maybe.
Yeah. Next round, I believe, was it Wigan at home? We also won 4-1.
We might be crossing the cups, but yeah, we did play Wigan at some point.
Now, was it 4-0 or 5-0? That was Wigan.
It was 4.
4-0. I don't think we conceded to Wigan, did we? No, we didn't. Then it was. Now tell me if I'm missing anybody. But then it was Mansfield.
We beat Brighton in the. Oh, that was the other one. That was the other one.
Then we beat Mansfield 2-1. That was also shaky, and that was Arteta as well, disrespecting the cup competition in that day as well. The weird 3-4-3 formation. That was the day that we got away with it. We were able to rotate so we can go on. But
yeah, today was not that day.
But you're right. Our FA Cup performances have been shaky, but it's the FA Cup. Like, that's always the vibes of the FA Cup. The underdogs lift. That's why, like, in these games when people were moaning about the performances in the FA Cup, I'm like, just the FA Cup. But I got to give credit to City, though, because, through it all, they've played Liverpool, they've smashed them. They played Newcastle, they smashed them. They smashed. I think they beat Salford. The Salford one wasn't big. It was Exeter City that they won 10. They won 10-1. So you got to give credit to them. They've taken it seriously. And that's how I think.
And that's why Pep has 19 trophies with City or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, they're out of the Champions League. They're out of the Premier League for me. Like, I'm just going to say it. So maybe their priorities are wrong, which is my point. Port Vale is a League 2 side. Southampton are very likely going to be a Premier League team and are on fire as of late. Yeah.
Yes,
I don't think Southampton's going to be maybe. Look, the 15 games unbeaten.
They defend really, really well. Really, really well.
They attack really well.
A safe in the house.
We'll get to your boy Asif. By the way, he must be licking his wounds as well.
Oh, yeah, he's not happy. Well, neither of us are happy.
And Chelsea basically played their strongest 11. Again, though, Chelsea are out. This is the difference, though. Chelsea are out of the Champions League. City are out of the Champions League. This is all they have left. Chelsea's definitely not winning the Premier League. And
they're not winning that
here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, right? Yeah, again, Man City's not winning the Premier League. I'm telling you again. I'm going to keep telling you guys. You have to wait until it's actually official for you to believe me, but City's not winning the Premier League. Like, for the same reasons why we're not winning the FA Cup is why they're not winning the Premier League. Who is scoring for who? I guess
I forgot what we were talking about.
This happens when I read the comments like ages after they're actually written. Yeah. If you ever beat Sporting, if you even beat Sporting, Barca is going to smoke you if you guys are so negative and scared approach.
We will.
I would say that Barcelona.
Well, you know he's going to. You know he's gonna park the bus at the Camp Nou.
But I don't mind that. I don't mind that. That's smart.
It's going to be haram ball terrorist football.
I want it. I'll tell you right now. I want it. If I get a 1-1, 0-0, 2-2 give it to me. Even if we lose 2-1 at the Camp Nou, I'm fine. Play haram ball. All this is why everyone needs to get it through their heads. Learn from today.
There you go.
Fuck the rivals and their opinions. Haram ball wins you trophies.
There you go.
It always has.
If it gets it done, it gets it done. You know, if it gets it
you
done,
used to blame
it gets it
Arsenal for not having cojones.
But see, but you've put it you've put it there. You've said it there. You know, Arteta needs to have some cojones, and he needs to put it on the line because he's walking a fine line here. I know that you believe 100% we're going to win, and you definitely feel that way. But in the nightmarish situation where we find ourselves, if we don't win anything, Arteta's in a lot of trouble, man.
Hey, which is why when we didn't win a trophy, when we didn't win a trophy 2 weeks ago, who I blame it on? Arteta. Today, who have I blamed it on?
It's at his door, man, and he needs to realize, bro. You
see, the funny thing is that I laid out me and Cal sat here at the very start of the season and laid out a very fine groundwork at the very beginning of this channel. We both agreed, if we don't win any trophies this season, Arteta has taken us as far as he can.
Yeah.
What we bought. He has zero excuses, and I haven't changed my mind on that. Which is why when we've gone out of cup competitions, that's why I turned it back to him. He has zero excuses. Now he's playing with his toys too much. In fact, he's putting his toys on the shelf and going to the third tier of toys in some of these games.
Yeah.
I said on the Goodness Therapy on Tuesday that Bukayo Saka was going to have to play in this game. He doesn't even make the squad.
It's not even there. I don't understand that. That was baffling.
That's the message that you send to the other locker room.
And he didn't play at all. And he didn't play for 2 weeks.
Here's the thing. When you walk, and I learned this from Patrick Vieira back when Arsenal were great. When the other opposing team is in the tunnel and they see your great players there, it's intimidating. When they walk through the tunnel and they see the guys who are usually on the bench or not even making it into the team, and they look to their left or their right and they're like, hey, you know what? I think we've got a chance today. It's a different vibe. Yep. It just is. As I've been saying the whole season, you were reluctant to admit, Anton, the attack never clicked. Even the EPL wins are hardly grinded out. 55, 45 games. We can't. I agree. The attack has never clicked. And
if the attack hasn't clicked and only City have scored more goals than us, I'll take it.
And yeah, at the same time, yeah, we still have the most goals in the Premier League and in the Champions League. Actually, not anymore because Bayern have surpassed that.
And apparently we haven't clicked. But I mean,
no. But at the same time, I get it. Like we haven't fully flowed. We haven't put it together where there's an understanding between everybody. We're
not winning 4-0 every game.
There's still a little bit of disjointedness. The chemistry isn't all there, right? And that comes from, and I've also was saying this ages ago, which is figure out who you're best for. I already knew before we even kicked the ball who our best for is. They still haven't played. And let them play every single week. I'm talking about in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
And gain an understanding with each other. Now, the biggest mistake that Arteta made this season, and I said it, time to play what did I call it again?
The Death Squad.
The Death Squad. Time to play the Death Squad. That's what I meant. You had that amazing foundation of defense. Now let's get this attack going. I don't need to rewrite or kind of just like change the starting players. The starting players is not our problem with Arsenal's attack. If we have all those players, Eze, who at least has won an FA Cup last year, won't get to do it now this year, not to his fault. Eze, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres. The problem we have in our attack, Martinelli. I mean, I say it, sorry to tell you guys, Jesus Havertz. Madueke. Now, much as Madueke looked great, he's still blasting, has no composure in front of the net. He's still blasting things way over the bar and running it
He
out
might
of
as well be
bounds.
Savinho. Madueke might as well be Savio.
The other thing is that
And I mean that with prejudice.
Max Dowman's role is going to grow. I hope not next year.
It shouldn't.
Next year,
What are we
next year
doing,
it should
man?
grow. Okay, this is my
What are
plan
we
for
doing?
Max.
He's 16.
This is my
Why?
plan for Max
In a
Dowman, though, right?
quarterfinal of an FA Cup is everything we tried to do. Go through a child, a 16-year-old. What are we doing? That is embarrassing.
This is my plan for Max Dowman, though, because I'm going to continue this list as a theme. Everyone's going to hate this. The next player who will not be at Arsenal Football Club next year, Kai Havertz. This is why.
Please
He's not a
God.
midfielder, so we're going to have to upgrade there. For me, our striker has found himself now. I still thoroughly believe that Julian Alvarez will be an Arsenal player next season, given all the storm does not go away. So he's been replaced there. You're not playing Havertz ahead of Julian Alvarez, right?
No.
And in terms of a 10, I've got Max Dowman coming through now. And I have Eze, and I have Odegaard, who, by the way, is on my keeper list. I've actually decided I'm keeping him.
Odegaard?
Yeah, I need him. This is why. Because next season, I'm playing Eze as a left winger still, unless we do something like buy Fart Scalia, which Terry has been going on about, and I'm like, dude, no, it's not.
Don't
happening.
gaslight me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Unless it's Fart Scalia, Arsenal's not buying a left winger because we have one, and we have Max Dowman. Like, that's what people don't realize is
We
that
don't have Max Dowman. He's a
No,
child, man. He should never be
Okay.
a part of the plan. He should never, ever, ever,
Jake,
ever
Jake.
be a part of an FA Cup quarterfinal plan to try and go win a trophy. What are we doing?
Jake, I agree with you, and this is what I was saying. It's part of a step-by-step process. I said by 18, he's not a regular starter until he turns 18th birthday. I said that, right? But before he's 18, next year in his 17-year-old season, I'm okay with him being second team. That's what I'm saying. You have also Ethan Wanieri is going to come back from loans. The two of them can kind of share that duties, and I'm hoping to have a better version of him, right? So I'm going to use a combination of those two to back up Odegaard. And by the way, if need be, you play as there. Maybe you sell Trossard and Martinelli and buy a different left winger that just gives you a different option. And then you got Julian Alvarez, who, by the way, can play in the number 10 position alongside. So you've got so many different things to go with. But for me, Havertz has lost me the last two games. In fact, in the last two games, Havertz has lost himself for me, and he's revived Martin Odegaard. Watching the two of them together on the pitch on either side made it as clear as day to me again today.
That's not what makes it clear for me. It's not. First of all, we know Kai Havertz doesn't play in the midfield with Martin Odegaard. That is a nightmare, a disaster, a dumpster fire every time we've ever tried to do it. Secondly, it's not Odegaard's fault. It's Jesus. The fact that Jesus is tiny and is not a target man had him doing all kinds of crazy rotations, right? And so Jesus is coming way back to try to get the ball, right? And so, okay, we know we're going to be doing that, so we'll rotate. We'll have Havertz go a little bit farther. And so Odegaard is isolated now because Havertz is way up the pitch. Jesus is off in no man's land, in la-la land. Every time they ever passed him the ball when he made one of these runs, all he did was pass it right back, so it did nothing. And Norgard is just trying to occupy and stay central space and let Odegaard do his thing. And so there was no connection in the middle of the park. And guess what happened? As soon as Victor Gyökeres comes in, our number 10 role plays the ball to our forward striker, and we score a goal. But because Jesus was not playing in a target man number 9 traditional forward way, he was never there when Kai Havertz had an opportunity to maybe make a play. He wasn't there. He was wherever the hell he was. Nowhere to be found. Ghostagard is what I would have called him if his, that's a different nickname. But Jesus took the mantle today and just ghosted it.
But
Ghost.
you know what? You know what, Jake? That was an excellent piece of analysis. And that gets me to my final point on why Odegaard is not on the out list. The last time Odegaard played at Tottenham, it was a 5-minute cameo. What did he do to Victor Gyökeres?
He gave him like 2 opportunities, didn't he? If I remember correctly.
He threaded it through to him for Gyökeres to score Arsenal's 4th.
Yeah. The 4th goal. Yeah.
It was clear as butter. Now, Havertz can do that, right? If you platform Havertz, not having playing as the number 8, which that's kind of been my issue with him in the last 2 games as well.
Awful there.
Right. By the way, as if Arteta didn't know from the reason why we didn't win the Premier League 2 years ago was because he was playing him in the number 8. So we've gone back to it, and hey, same results.
Kai's best stint in an Arsenal shirt was at the end of 23-24, where we pushed City to the very last day, but he wasn't playing in the midfield at all. Not 1 minute in the midfield in that run-in, and that was where he was best. Right. If you're going to play Kai Havertz in this team, if you're going to play Havertz in this team, he has one place, one spot. That's it. That is it. No more charity minutes for Jesus, who is finished.
No, that's the last. By the way, I'm making a declaration. That is the last.
He should not wear the shirt again.
Today,
he should not wear the shirt again.
Jake beat me to it. He won't. That is the last time Gabriel Jesus has ever played for Arsenal.
Unless we win the league and there's a dead rubber versus Burnley on the last day or whoever it is, and we've already won the league. That's the only way.
The only other striker right now that I'm rotating in and out with, Havertz will still play for Arsenal for the rest of this season because he'll rotate in and out. He'll be the one that comes off the bench for Gyökeres, and I do still think he's got a key role to play, and he's important. But for me, for next season, I've already replaced his initial role with Victor Gyökeres, and I'm going to replace his other role with Julian Alvarez, I believe. And by that logic, he's surplus to requirements, which is why he's out. The other player to finish off my list of players who I've got 2 more. The other one will shock you. Kepa.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Bye.
The original plan was for us to have Joan Garcia. And because
the Spain keeper, yeah.
He just outplayed himself out of that and got himself a move to Barcelona, you can't blame him. But that's the profile that Arteta was going for. And now it won't be Joan Garcia. There'll be someone who's more like that than someone who's like Kepa. You need to have a cup keeper who does the same things as Raya. That way that we don't have to change our style of play. We don't look shaky at the back. Hey,
how the hell did Stefan Ortega end up at Forest? Why did we let that happen?
Because
I would love to have Stefan. I would love that. Stefan
from
Ortega
Arteta's point of view, until 2 weeks ago, the cup final, Kepa had done nothing wrong. So now it's something that we've learned. But yeah, he's not. And the other one, guys, and it really hurts me to say it, and I'm ready for the pelters. Miles Lewis-Skelly. And I get he's still a teenager. But guys,
how old is he?
When 19?
19, maybe.
He's 19. Here's the reason. Guys, the idea that Miles Lewis-Skelly can play left back,
but yeah, if he's
is a fantasy. He's a midfielder. Now, does he fit? Does he give Arsenal the control or this? I may have said that, but I was wrong. I'm going to contradict myself earlier. Probably be giving you more than it playing a left back. But does he give you the control in midfield? Does he have that hard battled? Does he look like Declan Rice to you? Because we'll never be able to have a player like Declan Rice. I need somebody who can competently do Declan Rice light. as his as rotational piece. Mikel Marino does that for me a lot more than Miles Lewis Skelly.
I like
now,
Marino.
Marino could be another player who might be on that list, but I would hold back on that for now because I've chucked Norgard out, and I think
No,
that Marino.
I would actually keep Marino.
Yeah, Marino can do a lot of utility stuff, and be an extra option at striker, be an option, like he can play all over the joint. I actually like Marino for that reason, but I just think that, look, unfortunately for Miles Lewis Skelly, the noise of him wanting to be at other teams doesn't come from thin air. That comes from his agent throwing these ideas out into the atmosphere. And the minute I see that, as much as we want to go, Arsenal will never sell Miles Lewis Skelly. The agent doesn't say this thing for no reason. It's come from somewhere.
Right.
And look, maybe Miles Lewis Skelly will go somewhere else and develop and be a good player, but he doesn't fit. We've tried. But be honest. Ricardo Calafiori, is he better than Miles Lewis Skelly? By the way, Ricardo Calafiori is young. Let's take a look. Ricardo Calafiori's age. 23 years old.
Like, why didn't he start?
He's 23 years old. What is Piero Incapie's age?
I think he's 23 as well.
24 years old.
Yeah.
Not like those two are 30. Those are good, competent Premier League level left backs. Upper echelon, actually. Right?
Yeah, MLS doesn't have a place at left back.
I think MLS is gone. And I don't think he's going to place in midfield, because if he did, Arteta would have played him there by now.
Yeah.
He's got two good left backs. I think he's gone.
I think he is.
And by the way, that's not meant to be a bad thing. Arsenal's actually going to get a good buck for him. We're actually selling players before their values drops off. This is the next part. And I saw who was saying about Berta. Berta and Arsenal club management must sell Havertz, Jesus, Trossard, Marino. Okay, got Marino. Well, White, Havertz, and Kepa. Arsenal sees serious striker, left winger attacking. Scout from today. But the other thing that we're getting now from Berta, which last year he wasn't able to make sales because that was the hand that fucking Adu left him.
Yeah.
And Berta is aggressive. Berta will be, I don't know if I'm finding enough people putting Gyökeres on the hey, we'll be selling after a year. Now, when he's starting to actually be the player that we want him to be, now we're going to talk about selling him. Ridiculous. But it's players like Miles Lewis Skelly, who is 19 years old, which means he's got high value. You can sell him for a huge chunk of money. If you believe, one thing Arsenal fans are doing by believing he is better than he actually is they are upping his stock. Because another team will be like, hey, I got this gem. And also like, well, he's a gem. So I'm not going short on that. Give me 50, 60. I'm not even joking. In today's market, I'm not even kidding. At 19 years old, could be a starter for England in the right system. Could get even better, upside. Andrea Berta's not going cheap on that.
Yeah, I mean, but you said maybe sign somebody for like a Declan Rice light. Well, if you hit the gym this summer, he is kind of press resistant, and give him a chance in the Carabao Cup next season in the midfield. Maybe. He might have a role to play as like a Zubamendi backup. But the thing is, if we don't buy backups for the midfield that play our system, why are we going to buy a backup that changes our system? And today is the first time I really realized that he isn't ever going to play Norgard in a double pivot. He's not. And so that signing has broken down for me, because it's like, why do we buy players that aren't
the fact that Rice
was Miles Skelly maybe does. Maybe Miles Lewis Skelly does.
The fact that Rice was left at home today is telling. You know why Arteta saw? I'm starting Norgard, and if something goes wrong with that, I'm bringing on Zubimendi.
Yeah.
If he needed two midfielders, if he was willing to play a pivot or switch to it, he would have had both of them on. You would have taken off Havertz and Norgard and put on Rice and Zubimendi. And I wish he had that option because we wouldn't have conceded our second. And that's another thing. Last point on this, and then we'll go into player ratings and we'll read some of the comments, right? Jake said it before. I'd rather be up 3-0 or 4-0 before I use my subs. We have 5 subs. This is what I wrote. I'll tell you exactly what I wrote in the group chat with a football terrace at halftime or right before it. Let me go back to it. There's a lot of crap being blum, 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 blum. All right. We need Zubimendi, Saliba, and Calafiori at halftime. That's 3 subs, I said. Then I wrote, and Gyökeres, because I realized we need goals. And Jesus was fucking awful. That's 4. And then I said, and Raya. I'm not even kidding. If we wanted to win the game, if you wanted to fix where you went wrong in that lineup, that's what you had to be doing. He would have had to make all 5 subs at halftime just to undo what he did at the start of the game. Yeah. Who was it said earlier, hey, that lineup should be good enough to beat Southampton? Was it you?
I didn't say
somebody
that.
else. Somebody else in the maybe it was Arun, right? It wasn't.
I definitely didn't say that. That lineup was nowhere near good enough.
Even when we drew it. I said, for some reason, I'm nervous about Southampton. Even Seb, one of the most positive gooners ever, said, I'm nervous about Southampton. Everyone's saying, like it's...
Everyone was nervous about Southampton except Arteta. And that's why we were all nervous about Southampton.
Perfectly said. All right, let's get in the comments, and then we'll do the player ratings, and we'll get out of here because there are a lot. I'm not going to necessarily have a response for all you guys because we're at 1 hour 23, but I will read them. For some, I might have a response if it really triggers me. I'm going to try to hold back, but your voice will definitely be heard, and I definitely have to prioritize my audience here, guys.
Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. Y'all been coming in hot. We appreciate that every single time.
Yeah. Don't even compare Martin and Bruno or take names in the same sentence. Arsenal fans made that comparison, and now look.
2 years ago,
that's easy to say. 2 years ago, I mean, Odegaard 2 years ago was just as good, if not better. By the way, Odegaard is in a winning position. Like, I feel like Odegaard is kind of put on the back foot now. He's not really being put in the best possible places right now.
Well, he hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown it
either. But I agree. Right now, on form, they're not even comparable.
Yeah, Bruno's on fire. Big up
Bruno
Fernandes.
Bruno is a contention. Bruno's closer to Declan Rice, as in those are 2 of the main contentions for Premier League Player of the Season. Now, Rice should win it because if we win the Premier League, but that's a whole other thing. And you can see how valuable he is when he's not in there. Today, another case in point. Gyökeres, even with all his flaws, he is one of the few, I believe, have the mentality. When I saw after the Cup final, the likes of Eze giggling and fangirling over Pep, Nelly giggling over Salvi. Exactly. And what did Victor Gyökeres show you when he was out for Sweden? By the way, not Alexander Isak, who is now fit to play for Liverpool. He'll be playing in the Champions League. They've already been said by Fabrizio. Duck to that. Gyökeres knew, hey, I need to win 2 games to get my nation the World Cup. He's not like he's fucking playing with world beaters. His second best players are probably Bergvall, who plays at Tottenham, who, by the way, all of a sudden, by the way, what De Zerbi is in at Tottenham, and miraculously Bergvall is fit. You had Bergvall, and you had Anthony Alenga, right? Those players aren't even starting for those clubs, right? Let's not even go there. Gyökeres, hat trick, winning goal in crunch. If you guys don't think he's good enough to lead Arsenal to winning stuff, then you are out of your mind. By the way, Arsenal were going out today regardless. He came and stepped up and got you an equalizer. Amongst
I
the
was
rubbish
furious
and
he
the
didn't
shit.
start. I'm still baffled that Jesus played in this game. It still blows my mind.
What is Jesus? We were talking about momentum. What momentum did Jesus have?
None. Zero.
And sitting on his ass, not good enough to play for Brazil anymore. Last year, we were at home and got beaten and by dusted, rubbed United. Correct.
Yeah, because we don't take the cup seriously. I guess that's
What did we do
Arteta's
that
legacy
week?
is
That
gonna
week
be.
as well, by the way. We went out of the Carabao Cup, went out of the FA Cup. That's what pisses me. That's why I'm upset. Because in this year, I thought that week like that would not happen, and it did. Okay, we already read this one. I'm telling you, United even worse than the Southampton team last season, and you played at home and you were down to 10.
Yeah, it wasn't a good story, Arun. It was nothing good about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna glaze that. I'm mad on that day as well. For 6 years, Arteta couldn't win any trophy out of 24 trophies available. The biggest undoing for Arteta is he's stubborn and arrogant and can't learn quickly from his mistakes. See, I don't like the way that you framed this. Because for me, again, as I said, look where we were when he picked us up and look where we're going. Yeah, he hasn't won us.
There's some truth. There's some truth to the very last bit. He definitely gets stuck in things and is slow to adapt.
There is truth. But in the
not
Premier
all
League,
the
we're 9
time.
points
Not
clear.
every time. Not all the time. But
in the Premier League, we're 9 points clear, right? We have made it past the last 16 3 years consecutively under Mikel Arteta, which under Arsene Wenger, we went about 12 or 15 years without having to get out of that round. Like something fucking fucked, right?
Well, we were there like 20 years in a row.
Yeah, but we couldn't get out of the last 16.
That's because we kept drawing Bayern, and it doesn't matter. Keep going.
Hey.
Doesn't matter. Keep going.
But that's the difference, is that we are them, right? Like this time it is Leverkusen who are drawing Arsenal, the team at top of the table. That's because we are Bayern and Barcelona. That's why they're not there. They are.
Right.
But that's why they're not there from that perspective where it's like, oh, wow, this is where our season ends. This is why the new camp thing, everybody's all talking about. I'm not as scared because I actually think we're a better team than them. But
I'm not scared. I think if we play well, we'll be fine.
For the first time ever, like Lionel Messi ain't on the other side of the pitch. Neymar ain't on the other side of the pitch. Pedro, Ibrahimovic, David Villa, Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, Jordi Alba, Puyol, Valdez, Dani Alves. All those were the players who were playing against us when we played Barcelona at the new camp. Yamal is a great player, but he's not. He doesn't put the fear of God through me like Messi. Arteta has never beaten a Premier League side in the FA Cup since winning the trophy 5 years ago. Yeah, again, that's the cup competitions. This one and the other one, 1,000%. I agree with that. I agree with that premise on that. 1,000%. Me and Kyle.
I think he's saying
that is where his criticism.
I think he's saying that as an actual stat.
Yeah, that is where the criticism is for me. But I'm talking about winning trophies out of possible 24. Arsenal have been building up to try to win the biggest ones, the big ones. And I think we're on the cusp of one. I think we've actually almost basically done it. It's only about the little details here. We're on the brink of the Premier League and the Champions League. Let's see. We have to have a good performance against Sporting. I want to win and beat them home and away. And then send out a statement when we go to Barcelona. But we have the quality. End of the day, it's not about having a good draw or running into a good team, because today we played Southampton. We can fucking we beat Real Madrid last year. We can beat these teams because we are the best in Europe. We finished first for a reason. We beaten Bayern Munich 3-1 at home. So for me, again, you need to come to the mentality of we are the big boy. I know we haven't won the trophy, but quality-wise, we are. when everyone's fit. The Arsenal today, this is why I'm saying the Arsenal today is not Arsenal. It's our second/third string with Gabriel in there for me. That's an Odegaard. The rest of them, not starters. Pep Guardiola just drills his players to master 100% basic football skills, like holding the ball, control, possess. Agree, but where was that in the Champions League against Real Madrid? Where was that? This is where, like, we're going to glaze Pep this season. Like, oh, he's been perfect. This is the way we always do it. Every time Arsenal struggle and City have a good... It happens that just they always kind of coincide. Oh, Pep is so amazing. Okay, yeah, he'll win a FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But he can't win the other two, the big ones. In the, like... Yes, I agree in his pomp, but this Manchester City team isn't doing that. I think that you're rewriting this season if you believe that. This is the game to control the game. You have Odegaard, the control freak, there to just be patient. Don't give them the counters, and a championship team will make a mistake. 100%. Bang.
There you go.
I criticize Arteta for the same mentality I was criticizing you and Positive Dan. We are winning. Don't fix what is not broken. We needed to acknowledge and fix holes before they came back to bite us.
Well, we unplugged the holes that were already plugged today.
That's the problem. Is when you have something that's working,
and we changed it.
So we did try to fix what was broken. That's why we lost today.
Yeah.
We played to 2-10s, which everybody's been, oh, why doesn't he ever play with 2-10s?
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of we played a weakened defense, and that weakened defense played below the standard that they should be at anyway, which isn't at our highest standard. So we played a weakened defense, and we expected this, and we got this.
I will say it for the 1000th time. The reason why me and Dan have had so much chest throughout the whole year is not because of our attack. It's because we have the best defense and midfield combination in the world. We have the best control, stability. But when in games where we execute that, a lot of people are...
If Saliba plays and Mosquera plays right back instead of Ben White, we win this game.
By the way, it's not like our attack is fucking phenomenal. This is our front three today. Martinelli, Jesus, and
Max Dowman.
Max Dowman.
What are we doing? It's an FA Cup. Move on. I've already said what are we doing about 37.
Yeah. It's kind of circle logic. If you train your defensive muscles 6-7 days a week, of course, when you need to rely on your offensive muscles, it's not going to be strong enough.
It is strong enough.
But they don't not train the offensive muscles. They do.
It is strong enough. Like we've scored more goals than everyone except City, and we've conceded about 7 less than they have. Our goal difference is far superior to Manchester City's. We're scoring enough goals. When we don't defend well, it looks shitty. But guess what? The guy that everybody thinks can't score came on and scored today.
I mean,
so when we don't do what we're good at, there's no point in even discussing the attack because we didn't do what we're good at.
Yeah. I'll go back to the straight facts with Hissam and Mo. Arsenal definitely need to address the attack, but it doesn't need to be that we completely recreate it. Like we have just paid Bukayo Saka $300K a week, not for him to be our backup right winger next season. For who did Hissam say? Ousmane Diomande? I mean, I was like, the front three next year would be Ousmane Diomande, Alvarez, and I forgot who was the other player that he said he put in there. Like
no. It'll be Saka, Gyökeres, and please God, Kvaratskhelia next season.
Good question. Kvaratskhelia or Alvarez, if you can pick one.
Well, if I had to,
yeah,
I want both. But if I had to, it'd be Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, because for me, you can still keep Havertz. We still have Havertz.
I'd rather not, but yeah.
No. Or you also got Eze can play.
I've never been Havertz's big fan.
But No,
a big
Kvaratskhelia
fan
changes the
of
game for me.
Havertz.
If your front three is Kvaratskhelia, Gyökeres, and Saka,
Yeah,
that's
that would
sorry,
cook.
that's dangerous. Even
That
by the
would
way,
cook.
with Eze, Gyökeres, and Saka, which is why it pisses me off. I was literally doing backflips on the day we signed Eze because I'm like, look how amazing that front three sounds, and it hasn't fucking played together yet. Not once.
I got no answers for you.
That's
I got
the
no
only
answers
part
for
about
you.
it is like, I can't say the attack is broken when it's never played. It's disjointed. The timing is off. Players aren't available. See, the thing is I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you what actually is happening. Rather than making foregone conclusions. Attacking football is just superior by definition. Every minute you spend attacking, you don't have to defend. That's very easy, but you completely missed out the midfield part of the game. The other part is you control it through your midfield by passing and maintaining possession. You're also not defending when you're maintaining possession. But by the way, attacking, shooting, and here going with the bar out for a goal kick gives the possession back for the other team. So if you're going to attack, the way Arteta looks at it is this. I'll explain it to you, and I don't want to take too much time. Control the game, but if we're going to attack, be very specific and choose your moments. Because, yeah, if we're just shooting, and it's missing, the other team gets the ball back. So it's like, it's about control. It's about the midfield. When we talk about, hey, just defending, it's not like we're seating without the ball the whole time and around defending our 10-yard box. That's with a misnomer about Arsenal. That's what everybody else is doing when we are playing them. Right? The other time is we're controlling it, and you guys are all complaining about, oh, hey, Odegaard, we're always going sideways. Oh, right, he's a sideways merchant. Zubimendi, he's always playing sideways. Hey, you know what that's called? Control. Midfield control. There's a midfield element to it. We need more creativity. I would agree. I think we have the finishing if you can get it there. I'm talking about, Gyökeres again. But again, James pointed out, I actually want to bring up James's tweet because he said this well. And we're gonna move this on, but this was his halftime thoughts. I haven't read his full-time thoughts. He goes, by the way, I said this with Jake, so Jake's seeing this one. This for me was bang on assessment. Get Gabriel Jesus off, please. I can't do it anymore. I think we all agreed. Havertz isn't. This is James, by the way, who loves Kai Havertz. Havertz isn't a midfielder. We know this, but it's poor that it can't at least work against a championship opposition. True. Ben White, a calamitous 5 minutes might have cost you a starting spot for the rest of the season. True again. This is the key one, right?
He was
Our forward
started.
runs into space are awful. They've been awful for years. We are terrified to commit to sprints into space, and I think it's so detrimental to our overall attack. That, my friends, is not personnel. We addressed personnel this summer. Eze and Gyökeres, were they at Arsenal last season?
I disagree with that statement. Kai Havertz and Jesus don't run into space behind the line. You know who does? The guy that's got more goals than anyone. That's who.
By the way, he's gonna hit the 20 goal mark on Tuesday.
The guy that has more goals than anybody else is the one making the forward runs. Go figure that. Why wasn't he playing? Why didn't he start? What are you doing?
He did score. That's what I love.
He came on and scored. Like, what are we doing, man? The guy just took his nation to the World Cup. I'm just baffled, man. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm just going over the same shit.
I get
same invective. I apologize. Just keep going.
Yeah. No. Odegaard looks busy, but I'm not fooled. Safe effort to the keeper, then scuffed the best chance of the game, and isn't doing enough to open the game with creative or penetrative passing. But in his defense, he's doing more than most. That's exactly how I would have said. You can tell his absence is there, but it's not fully what he is. But to be fair, can I name that front three again? Martinelli. Now, Max Dowman, by the way, let's go with Martinelli and Jesus. Max Dowman, I'm not going to shade because he was our best player again. But Martinelli and Jesus, what is this? 2002?
I don't understand. I don't understand it. Why are you letting a kid show
Where's
you up?
Leandro Trossard today? I get it. Eze's injured, right? So whatever. I'm not gonna beat that horse. Where's Leandro Trossard? By the way, Martinelli wasn't that bad today, by the way.
It
But
was okay.
yeah.
I have an exceptionally low standard for him, though. So
Yeah, it's true. Didn't your team lose at home to Brighton in 1998 in the FA Cup?
no, 1998 is part of Aroon's name.
Oh.
So Asif is just bantering him because they went out to Brighton in their first attempt in the FA Cup this season.
Oh. I'll let you answer these then. Here, read it.
Yep. He's talking about Liverpool, absolute shit show today, lads. My condolences to us as well. Yeah, it was from both sides, from both Liverpool and Arsenal shit shows. Yep.
If we want to play a round ball, we need quality on transition and lethality in front of goal. We have neither at the moment. I agree. That is the second part.
I agree with the first part, quality and transition. We have lethality in front of the goal. Victor Gyökeres is scoring goals. I'll keep banging on about it as long as he's banging them in.
See, this is, guys, and I don't want to sound like I'm a fucking know-it-all, because I'm not, right? And last 2 games have been a massive humbler for me, right? I'll be the first to admit it. But one thing that I will hang my head on the whole year, which is why I never, not once, joined the Victor Gyökeres hate club, because I knew that this is where we would be eventually. And now I have and Jake also never joined the Victor Gyökeres hate club. And now we have the absolute ability now to rightfully realize, hey, maybe he wasn't the problem. Maybe we should have persisted with him a little bit more, which we did. Because now, again, he's dragged his nation. Here's the thing. When Alexander Isak and Kulusevski get back from their injury and they get to play in a World Cup, they should go all the way to Victor Gyökeres and fucking shake his hand.
Kiss his boots.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, for real.
We haven't really controlled a game since 2026.
I think he means
I disagree.
2025.
2025.
Like we haven't controlled a game this season, is what he's saying. Like this.
Well, no,
calendar
yes, no,
year.
it's 2026,
this
right?
calendar year.
But we have controlled the game in 2026. We're missing some brilliant performances in 2026. Tottenham Hotspur. I'll go through them. And
we don't need to go
kind
through.
Of finish these.
We don't need to go through.
Yeah,
we
fine.
need to keep
But
going.
we have. I
My
gave you
dinner's
one at least.
Come into
Yeah.
into
I don't think it's fair, but the narrative is that once the set piece goals dry up, we have no problems as hard. But the set piece goals weren't in the starting 11 or the squad today.
There you go.
And by the way, Gabriel coming off the injury, I don't even know where that's.
I haven't even looked. I don't even want to look. I'm not even going to look till tomorrow. I'm not even going to look. I don't want to know. But
yeah, Jake, it hasn't. The fact is, we scored a lot of goals doesn't mean we couldn't be doing better. A lot of goals come from the midfield and defensive. But the point that Jake is making, I'll speak for Jake for a second, and you can nod your head along, which is everybody else has less goals than us. So why is it a problem for us but not for them? Who is supposed to be the person who's taking advantage of this? If we're so bad in attack, everybody else is also bad in attack. Even the great Manchester City.
And we only have to be better than the rest of them.
Did I answer it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to throw darts at a picture of Slot whilst trying to forget today's result. Yeah, I know. And I went back in the last 2 weeks cycle news. I didn't get time to do that, but it has been nuts for everybody.
It's been crazy.
Like the Chelsea ones, our ones, although our ones I think are going to settle now that players are going to actually fucking play.
The Salah stuff.
The Slot. We're backing Slot.
It's been crazy, man.
It's been nuts. It's been fucking nuts. This is why I hate the international break. I agree, Jake. If we rely on a wild card like Down, we have failed the plan because he definitely wasn't part of it.
Yeah,
agreed. The league is still in your hands. Whilst I I have a beating from PSG to look forward to. Hope you all have a great night. Even you, Arun Chopra. Has Asif and Arun been going back and forth?
Oh,
for,
yeah. Arun loves to stir up stuff. That's his game. He loves that.
He stirred up me as well.
Well, his team doesn't play many games. You know, they don't.
Yeah,
they
no,
don't
they
play a
still
lot.
they didn't play this week. They still have to wait until next week as well.
They don't play a lot, so he has to get the licks in while he can.
Just ease down and slowly into the team. Young players will be inconsistent, Anton. It's insanely to have it. That's why I said he'd be the backup. I didn't say he's a starter from next year. That's why I changed my mind to keep Odegaard.
No.
Because I honestly don't think that we're buying Kvaratskhelia. I don't think he's leaving PSG, just in all honesty. And I think Alvarez will be the piece, and I'll tell you exactly how that fits in. No way you blaming Jesus for Odegaard having another stinker. You are.
Odegaard is one of our best players.
Do analysis of the game, nonstop, Josh. Do some analysis of the game. By the way, like and subscribe to Fire Them Cannons. Thank you. And
I thought Odegaard was half decent.
But
I didn't want him to come off.
You have to analyze the game.
I didn't want him to come off.
Odegaard was pretty good. I thought he was lively, actually. I wouldn't call that a stinker. I wouldn't call that a stinker.
Jesus had a generational stinker.
We'll get into it when we do the player ratings, but I don't think Odegaard had a stinker. Jesus is obviously finished. It's Odegaard and Havertz that need gone as well, mate. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'd say Havertz more. I think give Odegaard time to prove that he's as the season goes on, let him make mistakes and let him show that he's the reason why we're not winning. Because I actually think that quite the opposite is about to take place in the coming weeks. Did Jesus miss Odegaard's open chance for him? When did he have an open chance?
Odegaard should have scored. No, he's right. Odegaard 100% should have scored. That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah, when these losses,
when Miles Lewis-Skelly got in behind, it was one of the corner kick routines, and that Gabriel Martinelli took, and they cut it back, and Odegaard had a point blank shot.
Yes.
Odegaard had a point blank shot, and he's put it over the goal.
When you start to paint the picture for me, I remember because these games sometimes, especially when we lose, my head gets so hot I forget the little moments. Is why
Odegaard definitely should have scored for sure.
We need to stop being hopeful with our players. Look at City; they could have just hoped Foden finds his feet, but they went in for Semenyo, and that was the difference.
There you go.
Difference for what? They're not winning the Premier League.
He's saying Semenyo has been far better than Foden has been this season.
But who's our Foden?
Odegaard is what he's saying.
Yeah, again, we have Mepre Chieze. He was on fire before he got injured against Leverkusen.
There you
go. Right? Like, what did Havertz do today other than that single?
Nothing.
Guard there with you. Fuck, man. Why are you not trying so hard to justify Odegaard?
Because here's the actual thing. Here's the actual thing. Here's the actual thing. He's the club captain. He is not going anywhere. No matter how many fans scream, no matter how many fans say he's shit, no matter how many rivals pile on, he's not going anywhere, okay? And he is integral to this team. He is integral to what Arteta has built, and Arteta believes he is integral to this team. He's not going anywhere, okay? So we need to continue to build around him.
And also, Eze is injured. Wanyeri is on loan, and Havertz is shown to be competent and incompetent in that position. He's already started there anyway. Who plays there?
There's no one else. There isn't anyone. Because we've purposely done that.
You put Zubimendi, Norgard, and Havertz. That's going to be your midfield three.
Please, today. God, no. Please, God, no.
No, it should have been Zubimendi, Norgard, and Odegaard. But Norgard can't play in double pivot, so... There we go. It should have been Declan Rice plays his ass today, but he doesn't. And he better be man of the match, which he won't be because it'll be Gyökeres against Sporting. Yeah. If you make a case for a player based on a few good moments of quality, you can just build as strong of a case for on his bad moments. There are new stronger.
He was talking about you justifying Odegaard staying is what he was talking about here.
Yeah. Look, it's because I know that Odegaard right now, as you said, it's back to the whole Jesus started up front thing, right? And the fact that I need Max Dowman, who probably eventually will be our 10-year player in that position, not ready to play there yet. So what do I put there? I got Eze, I can rely on that side, but I've got issues on my left-hand side. Maybe I'm in denial and Eze will never play there, and we just need to buy a left winger, and that if we do that and sell Odegaard and rely on Eze, it's fine. But then if you sell Odegaard, and as you guys all are telling me that you can't rely on Max in that situation, where we are now, where Eze's not available, what do you do? Is Ethan Wanieri going to suddenly come out to be? Is Ethan Wanieri better than Odegaard?
Odegaard is still the best creative midfielder we have.
Like, it's just, guys, we can't sell everybody. He's 19. Yeah, he's in
MLS.
MLS is a midfielder and always has been. Yeah, I know, but he's. Yep. Sometimes it just happens. You get shifted out to this first position and then you never make your way out of it. But he is acting like his agency. He wants to go to Man United to replace Luke Shaw, according to sources. Let's stick to left back.
According to Trust Me, Bro.
According to what's his face, Indy Kyla. Like he's like a trash magazine for me.
I disagree with this completely.
Marino is a waste. Disagree. Everyone has a spot. Everyone has a role to play. Like honestly, if we sold all these players, who would be available? Who would be left in the team? Because you cannot buy another 11 or 12 players. We bought 8 this summer, guys. Are you guys not? I'm neither.
I'm of the opinion that I have been for a while now, all season long. If you don't win a trophy, then yeah, it's time to go. You've failed.
I'm saying.
But if you win a trophy, it could be the beginning of something amazing. So no, I'm not Arteta out. It's all contingent on results, like it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Bang on. We didn't really give Skelly a fair chance in the midfield. It's wild to me that you would choose to protect a player given the chance and throwing it over a talent we didn't really see managed well.
Do we think Miles Lewis-Skelly will ever be better than Odegaard in the midfield? Will he ever be better than Declan Rice in the midfield? I don't think he's a 10. Will he ever be better than Martin Zubimendi in the midfield?
Like, he's never going to be.
That's what Arteta's thinking. That's the question in Arteta's mind. And so that's why he didn't get the chance.
So Miles Lewis-Skelly, this is what I'm saying. You're talking about how the great talent. He believes that, which is why he's thinking about going somewhere else, because he needs to go to somewhere where he can play. It's funnily enough, when I heard the Man United link, I'm like, look, I don't think Arsenal's going to sell to Man United unless they give us a boatload of cash. But if he went there, he would start there. They got problems in their midfield. Does he start over, I don't know, who's left after you get rid of Bruno, who won't be there next year, most likely. After, you're probably going to buy an Anderson type of player, but he's got bigger places to go. Tonali's got bigger places to go. Probably
man. Who cares trying to solve? We don't need to solve Man U.
But I'm saying that he'd get a likelihood of him playing there than at Arsenal. He does.
Maybe he has more likelihood to play at Man U than us. Yeah,
he can be a rotational guy and win trophies and realize I'm 19 years old and I got many years ahead of me, and then I can be the guy. It's just that's the kind of the stuck situation you're in, which is why I'm saying let's move Max Dellman up to second team next year, because that way at least he's starting to get his feet wet and playing more games, because you can't hold him out of the squad completely till he's 18, because then he's going to be like, yo, guys, where's my game time? So there is a balance you got to strike. Big up, guys. Big up to you, Luke Watts. Love the profile pick. Yeah, man. Victor Gyökeres. He's going to win us the trophies now. I believe it. We need technicality in the midfield. We've got plenty of it. It's just not being utilized correctly at the moment, or not available at the right times. The lineup player for player should be good enough with the right game plan. And if the players are actually, but sometimes the talent player for player isn't necessarily the balance that you have in the squad, the functionality. And if your functionality is wrong, any team can beat you, especially at their ground. It could be the same for anybody. Could happen to Manchester City, could happen to Liverpool. They could have the same problems. It's not always about, sorry, I dropped my pen, but it's not always about, player for player or on paper. That's why I was nervous about the Southampton, because I knew this situation would arise. I really did. I didn't want it to, but it just exactly happened as I feared. No worries. Just read what you feel like it's worth addressing. No heart. Nah, dude. Big up to you, JT. Every single fucking time. I already told you at the start of the stream, man, that you've been so balanced the whole year, man. No, these are conversations. We're just having conversations. I'd rather have our conversations like we're having now than the ones I had with Hamza earlier today, which is like talking to a fucking brick wall.
Yeah, but we do need to get it going.
Gabriel Jesus on 300K a week just to play freestyle in the pitch. Liao, Gyökeres, and Saka. Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. Come on, you Gunners. 2, 1, 2, 3. Sell Odegaard and let Ethan Winier become a backup for Eze. We'll have to see, but Ethan needs to earn that spot.
I don't see that happening. No.
Why can't it be both? The attackers aren't amazing, but we are a defense-first team, which puts the attack in disadvantaged positions to perform. Yeah, look.
I disagree, because our best attribute in the way we defend is the way we press. And so if we win balls high up the field, instead of always passing backwards, maybe play 1-2 touch in transition. When we do play 1-2 touch in transition, we are devastating. We destroyed Inter. We destroyed Bayern Munich. We destroyed Paris at home because we pressed them high. We're a defensive team. We're a defensive team, yes, because we defend together high up the field. We defend together high up the field, and that platforms our attackers. It's not disadvantageous when we win the ball high up the pitch.
Mm-hmm. Big up Lauren's Legends every single time. Y'all knew Jesus wasn't going to show up on Easter week. Oh, gee, I should read it again. Jesus wasn't going to. Yeah, I know.
Yep, there you go.
Good joke. Good joke. We don't funnel the ball into Gyökeres. Him being lethal doesn't really help when Saka Martinelli keep shooting into defenders. Yes, but I do feel like we're changing into a different phase. I do feel like that ball is going to get, which is why we're talking about Odegaard. Which is why I brought up that instance with Tottenham Hotspur. I do think that Arteta knows, he's seeing what's going on, and he's seeing his most informed player. It's called feed the hot hand. And that's what he's been doing the whole year. He was feeding the hot hand. Gyökeres wasn't the hot hand. Now he is. I think it'll be different. Again, that's misinterpreting the point. I never said we are bad. I'm saying we have the ability to be better. Of course, bro.
We only have to be better than the rest. We don't have to be.
And by the way,
to score
JT,
5 goals every
I was
game.
more talking about Hassam and Mo, who said that our entire front three needs to change starters wise next year. That's more what I was talking about. That's the problem. Odegaard looking lively. Okay. We were out of the Carabao Cup, which means we won't see Kepa again this season. That's what I was saying. That's the silver lining. 2 things. Don't have to see Kepa again this year. Don't have to see Jesus again this year. And Victor Gyökeres is still scoring. With Arteta ball, we should never be playing Eze on the left side. The defense contribution required, the work rate, the transitions as they can play. But the thing is, when you have Nkapie or Calafiori, who are powerhouses on that left-hand side, you can get away with it. When you have Lewis Skelly, that's what happens. I agree. Like Lewis Skelly, I believe, started left back that Villa game, right? Did he not? That's what happened. You fucking put anybody there. Asaka. Like, we've seen Skelly play a full season left back, inverting in midfield, bossing against the best in the world. But he didn't do it for a full season. What about when he got sent off against Wolves?
He didn't play there games he was sent off. A full season, yeah. And he wasn't amazing every single game either.
No,
and it's not 2 bad games. Here's the rub, man. Here's the rub. If you want to talk about losing faith in him, Calafiori is better and is in front of him. Pierre Nkapie is better and is in front of him. Declan Rice is better is in front of him. Martin Zubimendi is better and is in front of him. Christian Norgard is better and is in front of him. Mikel Merino is better and is in front of him. Do I need to keep going? Even Kai Havertz is preferred in the midfield more than Miles Lewis-Skelly. It just is what it is. It's not that we've lost faith in him. Arteta doesn't play him. We haven't seen him because he's not good enough to get into the team. It's not what I think.
Jake,
that's what Arteta
that's how it works.
That's
hey,
what
do
Arteta
we
thinks.
have
He's
do
not
we have
good enough to
Arteta's
get into
phone
the
number?
team,
We're like,
and so he
hey,
hasn't been in the team.
this is how it is. Me and Jake, we have a phone number for Arteta. Oh, hey, Mikel, we don't think Lewis Skelly is good. Can you not play him?
He
No, that's not
hasn't been
how it
good enough,
works.
and so he's not been in the
I
team,
wish it's
and
how
that
it
has nothing to
worked.
do
That would
with
be
what I think
amazing.
about him.
If I wish that's how it worked, but otherwise I'd have told you, hey, Mikel, don't leave Declan Rice at
It just
home.
is what it is, man. It just is what it is. I like the guy. I got nothing against him.
Yeah, I like him
I will
too.
forever remember him hitting the Holland celly after scoring versus Man City. I will remember that forever. But
Yeah.
it just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I remember ESR. I remember Oxlade Chamberlain. I
I
remember.
love Smith Rowe. I still like Smith Rowe. I hope he continues to do well at Fulham. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan.
I remember Florian Balogun, although he didn't really play much for Arsenal.
Eh.
But he's one of the 10 most
He is an
influential
American. He
players
is an American, so I will
in
back
the
him.
World Cup this summer, according to First Things First. I'll be making a video about that coming
That was
up.
the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I'm actually holding that until we enter the World Cup because I just want to put Arsenal first. But I have saved that because it is wait until around when our business is over. We're hitting around June time. Oh, I am going into that list. I've saved it. It's the most amazing thing. All right. Rapid fire. When I mean rapid fire, I mean rapid fire. We're just going to say names and we're going to say numbers and we're going to get out of here. We don't need no analysis. All right.
Yep.
Player ratings. Kepa Arrizabalaga.
6. Had some shaky moments, man.
5, 4. That's me. Ben White.
1.
Yeah. 1.
He was terrible.
Lewis Skelly. We're talking about Lewis Skelly.
I don't think he was horrible. Why can't you believe it? I mean, he's just not good enough. And he hasn't been able to get in the team. If you're not able to get in the team, I don't know what else to tell you.
It's like the kid. Like, to be honest, I was Miles Lewis Skelly when I played basketball on high school level. I played soccer a little bit. Right? I was the best player in my team in grade 8. Like in middle school, right? I was the best player in my team in middle school. I went into a high school team full of boys who were much more older than me, and I was complaining as to why I wasn't getting into the starting team, and my coach kept putting me on the bench. And it was because the players who were there, the kids who were there, were more experienced than me. They were better than me. They were more grown up than me. They were taller than me. They were faster than me. I was skilled. I'm good. I can ball on the streets, bro. But when it comes to it, those guys can just do it better than me. It's the same thing here. Why talk at all? Because we won't change Arteta's mind, so there's no point in talking about the game at all. Well, then
I think it's just more interesting to speak on things and speculate on things that might change and might be different. And as much as we want Miles Lewis Skelly to succeed and have a good career and be and be the best there is, he's just not.
Yeah. Raya is playing on Tuesday. It is great news.
Yes, it is great news.
Fucking amazing. But I hope we haven't kept him in the cold for too long. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Raya needed to play both the last 2 games, and we might still be on for the quad. I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we're continuing. Okay. Miles Lewis Skelly, as we were on the topic, the other side.
4, 5. I mean, he was okay. He wasn't the worst.
Yeah, no, he wasn't the worst, but he did leave us exposed all game on that side. All right, they're not playing together today. They play at different times, but we'll do Gabriel.
I think Gabriel was shaky in the beginning and then improved. I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, I'd probably say 6. Yeah. Mascara, for me, I'll tell you he's like a 3 or a 4 for me today.
I thought he was okay. He had some shaky moments as well. Maybe a 5 for me.
Okay. Jake was a bit more on. He was making me nervous today, to be honest. All right. Well, I'll forget about the bench players today. I mean, they all came on in different things, but except for one man in particular. We'll mention him. Christian Norgard. For me, 4.
Yeah, I thought he was okay at times, but I blame the tactics
Is he average
a lot.
or below average?
I blame the tactics a lot for him getting left out to dry, but there were a couple of moments where it just played the ball into nothing. So 4.
Kai Havertz. He got an
Bro,
assist.
if he didn't run in for that assist, it would have been really, really dark. 3.
I'm gonna give him a 5 just because he's got that assist. Otherwise, it'd been like a 2.
Again,
or a
it's not Kai's fault that he's shit in the midfield. Like,
No,
it's Arteta's fault for playing him there.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I think that's a great spot on. Odegaard. See, this is where I'm gonna tell you guys 7. I actually thought he was one of our better players.
I think
I don't know why to buy Odegaard a stinker.
One of our best. I think 6.5. Yeah, I like that.
When we in the first half, when we had that shit lineup, that was my bright spark. When I was like, hey, where is something coming from? It was Max and it was Odegaard, which is why we're gonna come to Max now. Max Dowman on the right hand side. For me, 7 as well, or maybe even 8. But
8's strong because, like we said, he did kind of leave Ben White out to dry a bit. So maybe 6.5 again. Yeah, somewhere in there.
So you have Odegaard rated higher. Who? Question. There's no man of the matches, obviously, because we lost. But who was the best player in Arsenal? I think it comes between one of those two guys, yeah? Or the guy who comes off the bench. But in terms of the guy who played the bulk of the minutes, right? It has been between Odegaard and Dowman.
I would say Odegaard for me, honestly. There were times where, and I just rating a 6. He's a 16-year-old, so every single nitpicky criticism I have of Max Dowman is because he's a child. It's not because I expected him to be amazing. You know,
funny enough, right? The whole year, everybody thinks I'm Gyökeres FC, right? He made the wrong decision. He should have shot himself. That time, Gyökeres was the wrong option.
Yeah.
But, that's because he's 16. That's why nobody's going to... And
I
don't want anybody to get him at all. We got to let him... him
There's
grow
no
up
reason.
and
There's
mature.
There's no... I mean, I can nitpick for him. Yeah, I could say at times I thought, aren't you the kid that likes to go at everybody? At times he slowed it up and passed it backwards or whatever,
Yeah, I think 7 is fair. I think 7 is fair. I think I got him both.
I'm not going to get on Dowman at all. I think he was... I think he played well.
All right, Martinelli. I think for me, he was a 6. He wasn't one of our worst players.
That's generous.
It's a bit generous. 5 or 6.
5.
5 or 6. Jesus.
0.
Yeah.
Goose
he
egg.
was the worst.
Goose egg, bro.
Worst.
Can we give a negative score? -3?
Go for it.
-3. You played against us. -3. You actually played.
Right.
You actively played against us today.
And last but not least, to finish off the show, we'll talk about an actual substitute because the rest of them I omitted. Victor Gyökeres.
I mean, yeah, 6, 7. He's got to be one of the best. Got to be up there with just coming on and scoring the goal and doing the work. We immediately improved.
8. Do you know why?
Fair enough.
Because if he doesn't play, we lose anyway.
Yeah.
There was a chance where we thought, hey, look, we might get away with this. We're going to get through this. Speaking of Martin Tyler was saying, hey, if this thing goes to extra time, you got to think the Arsenal is going to grow into the game, especially some of those guys that they brought on. The more they play in the game, the better they're probably going to get. We got unlucky, but the only reason why we were in the position where we can have that conversation was because Gyökeres, unlike the rest of these guys who were still at Wembley in their tiers, went away to Sweden, had the best week ever, and he's in a great fucking form. He continues.
You'll never be able to. I'll never understand. There's nothing that can make me understand why he didn't start. That's what I'm left just scratching my head today. Is like, Arteta, man, you let us down.
Jesse. If you're gonna watch my show and message me on WhatsApp, in the group chat, can you at least comment in the comment section and speak to me mano a mano? He's messaging me popcorn and yawn. Jesse, tell me that to my face, please. All right, guys, we've been here for 2 hours. We thought we wanted this to be quickly, and it guess never is. But thanks to each and every one of you guys. Honestly, the last 2 shows have been a drainer, but that regardless, our Fire Them Cannons is now going into full pork wings. I've now got stability now on this channel again after Cal's left. Between Jake and Dan, we've got this thing sorted. Jake's been here on all the post games. I want to get another podcast in here as well. So Seb would have been able to be available had he not been at the game. But we'll try to get some more rotating cast podcasts in there as well. But we're going to have the Dan and Anton show on Tuesday. And best believe me, I know Dan's going to want to hide, but I will make sure his ass is here. We'll have a post game for Sporting coming up. Hopefully, it's a better one. Premier League is back on the weekend, so coming up, I will have all of my shows, Anton's Tears, Under Pressure, and yes, Arsenal is going to be featured in that. It has to be. There's no getting away from it. And we're going to be back with our preview show coming up for the Premier League with me and Jake. We'll do our betting show. So it'll be a packed week. We are back. We had our rest, but now the content is going to be flowing. And I don't let bad results get in the way of that. So guys, thank you guys all. Big ups to you, Luke Watts, again. Yeah, look, I believe this is the worst part of our season. This is the low point of our season, these last 2 games, right? The best is yet to come for me. Now it can only get better, and now it's time for the good start. Because I still believe there's a parade coming in May. So let's relax, take a deep breath, right? Maybe it's just a reality check, but we move on. We got a big game on Tuesday in the Champions League away from home. And it's been one that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. So let's get excited for that one. And until next time, guys, Jake, anything else to say?
Nope. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Come on, you Gunners. Let's go.